Hey, Steven, how are you?
Good. How are
Good
you?
to see you.
Yeah.
What did you think of yesterday? Overall, what grade would you give it?
I think the LA press tour it met its expectations, which is saying a lot. Expectations were sky high. Everyone was expecting fireworks, a heated rivalry, some entertainment, and they got all of that. Conor was he displayed everything that has made him a star. He's funny, he's candid, he's authentic, he's blunt, he's outrageous, and it brought out the old Floyd. Because Floyd has matured. He's sort of gotten to the point, he's mellowed a little bit, and he really hasn't been a trash talker as much. But after the show that Conor put on and the way he sort of commanded the stage, I think Floyd, his competitive juices got flowing, and he brought out the old Floyd.
Connor was very upset about the microphones and said afterwards, F Showtime. Did you guys cut it?
No, we definitely did not cut it. I will. I'll chalk that up to a little bit of sort of the first stop, some of the flaws. This thing came together really quickly. And the entire format of this thing is to get the two fighters to interact with the fans and with each other. So there were some sound problems. The cue when Conor came out, his video wasn't ready. Floyd's video never even played. We've got some of those details ironed out, but certainly, and we had the conversation with him backstage as well. Conor says, F Showtime, F everybody. That's sort of the way Conor talks.
Can you confirm the pay-per-view price?
Pay-per-view price will be announced pretty shortly. I know there's been some speculation that it's going to be something well beyond anything we've seen before. I can confirm that's not the case.
Will it be less than the Pacquiao fight?
It'll be somewhere in the range of the Pacquiao fight.
Are there any fights that you can announce? Any other fights for the pay-per-view, for the card?
Well, there is one fighter that is confirmed, only one so far, which is Gervonta Tank Davis, who personally, as a network executive, it's tough to have favorites, but as a fan, I'd really enjoy fighting him. I think those who haven't seen him, it's a great platform for him. He fights with the kind of ferociousness that I think both boxing fans and MMA fans will appreciate.
Who's he fighting?
Good question. We've got a couple ones. We'll probably announce it after we get through all this pandemonium. We'll announce it probably next week. I think part of this, what we learned with the Los Angeles press stop is, trying to impart information in these events is not the best idea. This is sort of the Christians and the Lions, and the crowd wants to see, their combatants. And there's not a lot of patience for, details like that. So we'll probably put that off. This is sort of a fan event, a press event. Let people get the flavor of the event. We'll take care of the details next week.
And last thing for me, Fox Sports announced earlier this week a bunch of stuff that they're doing, Fight Night, leading up. What will Showtime be doing? Anything different? Fight Night with CBS? Is there anything you can tell us about the coverage?
Yeah, we had a lot of discussions, and Fox has been supportive to both sports, to boxing and to MMA. And they've got a long history with PBC and even longer with UFC. So it made sense to us, given their platforms and given their commitment and appreciation for the sport, to involve them. And they're essentially supporting it in a huge way. And we'll be layering on and around that with CBS. CBS has been always a really strong promotional partner on the Mayweather fights, through CBSSports.com, through the network, through primetime programming, through interactive and radio. So I think by the time that we get there, you'll see really a blanketing of the media market with this fight, even make it more inescapable than it already is.
Thank you, Stephen.
What's the response been from the boxing community? There's a lot of traditionalists who don't like mixed martial arts.
Yeah, there has been some backlash, but I think the energy, the adrenaline, the enthusiasm, the confrontation that we saw last night has, I think, converted some of the fans. I'll use the analogy of it's a summer blockbuster movie. I'm a fan of both sports. But in terms of boxing, I like a variety. I like to see tactical fights. I like to see brawls sometimes. I think this is Transformers. It's fun, it's exciting, it's adrenaline, it's big, it's inescapable, it's going to be mass market. Do you want every event, every movie to be Transformers? No, but it's a lot of fun while it lasts.
Is there anyone from the community that sort of surprised you that has been in support of this fight?
The comments that I appreciate, and I thought she has a really interesting perspective, was Holly Holm. And I found her comments really interesting. She made the reverse switch, but I think she was speaking as someone who's done both and transitioned one to the other, and made the point, which I think, at the end of the day is it. Like, you're fighting. At the end of the day, resumes are great, but that's paper, and you've got two grown men in a ring, and they're trying to take each other's heads off, and at that point, anything could happen.
So who's the lion, Conor or Floyd?
We'll find out on the 26th. Yeah. All right, thank you guys.
Thanks.